Good morning, it's Wednesday the 18th of May. Stock markets utterly confused me yesterday, I don't mind admitting. This is the S&P. This is what I thought was a very clear head and shoulders pattern with a neckline. Neckline really here, but I have a second neckline here because I just wasn't sure which one to take. But there is a very clear trend line on both of them. Now, this neckline here around the 500-day moving average, we broke the 500-day moving average. We closed below it for 1, 2, 3, 4 days, and we had a weekly close below there as well. So this really did look negative to me. No idea why we bounced back. I don't see a particularly strong support level that was hit in the S&P. We even broke below the 100-week moving average, which was at 40.55. So anyway, we rocketed back up through the 500-day moving average at around 40.20, the 100-week moving average at 40.55. As I say, no idea why. Yesterday, I was watching the Powell comments, and to me, they were about as negative as they possibly could have been. He's talking about significantly higher interest rates, not giving any indication of a ceiling to those interest rates, saying that, admitting that the Fed is behind the curve and they should have been raising interest rates more quickly and far sooner than they did, almost admitting that the inflation problem is out of control. Initially, the stock markets did sell off quite significantly, but they held that 500-day moving average, around 40.20, and just rocketed back up. I really don't understand it. So the only conclusions I can make is that there are some shorts out there which need to be covered, and they are being covered, and this is pushing the prices higher. So although I don't understand it, I have to go with the price action, and this indicates to me that we can probably go higher. As you can see, we have trend line resistance, and we have the 23.6% fib at around 40.80 in the S&P. Now that does appear to be holding, and we do have some swing lows around there as well. So a bit of price action will sort of back up that level. Well, that's 41.00 down there. This one is 41.00, and this low down here is 40.56. All I can say is if we break above 4100, then that would be a buy signal, I guess. Doesn't make any sense to me, but we have to go with the price action, and we could jump quite significantly. Anyway, all the levels are on the report, so you can see, but we could even get to 4200, 4220. 100 points isn't much in this market, is it? That could take a couple of days. So it's all about the 4080, 4090 area. Does that hold as a resistance level and we go back to 4020, or do we break up and go to 4200? The Nasdaq has looked more negative than the Dow Jones and the S&P for a while. Now we are hitting a resistance level which is in fact holding. Just wait for that to load. The 12,500, the 12,500, 12,600 area has been resistance in the past, certainly held well around the second week of May, last week, and now we're bouncing back to that level. It held yesterday, a high for the day exactly at the level. I've moved the stop down to 12,650 just in case we do start to follow the S&P higher, and if we do break up, well, the levels are all in the report, but we could certainly get to 12,800. The Dow Jones actually looks relatively strong, but it always has compared to those two markets. And we can see a break higher. Again, straight back up through the 500-day moving average, straight back up through the 23.6% fib. We have the 100-week moving average and a much longer term, a very important Fibonacci level at around 32,400. And we're sailing up through there as well. So the Dow Jones does look like it will continue higher. The S&P certainly looks like it could continue higher. And that's why I'm a little bit wary of the Nasdaq breaking above 12,650, which would be a buy signal in the short term for that. Now, eventually we'll get to resistance levels, and I think this negative trend will continue when we will get significant moves to the downside. But for now, it's a correction phase, a correction higher in the bear trend. European stock markets have got a mind of their own, and they're edging higher anyway, so I'm just going to leave that. I hadn't necessarily expected them to go down, so I'm not going to make a comment. Gold hit the resistance level, well, just below it actually, 1835, 1836 yesterday. You can see the moving averages on the daily chart doing their job. We have the 100-week moving average at 1840 and quite an important resistance fib level at around 1830. So that whole sort of 1830, 1840 area is resistance. And we'll see if that holds. Well, it has held, and see if, as you know, I think gold will remain in a negative trend. And gold did react to those Powell comments going lower. In fact, even crypto reacted to those Powell comments going lower. So did silver. So I'm a bit baffled as to why the stock market is so strong, but there you go, I'm wrong, and I just have to admit it and go with the price action. Silver hit our resistance level quite nicely, 2180, 2200, We seem to be turning lower now. So if you managed to get that trade on, well done. Canadian dollar, the short there worked. And we are long now at the support level, just about holding long. Hopefully you've managed to hold the long. Admittedly, I had a stop below 127.95. We got to 127.92. So we went further than I expected, but the Powell comments helped me there with some strength in the US dollar. Now, the Aussie has hit a resistance level. The New Zealand dollar hasn't quite hit the resistance level. The Aussie yen and the Euro yen completely messed me up yesterday. I really thought we had very clear head and shoulders patterns in both of those markets, but I was proved to be utterly wrong. The neckline to the head and shoulders, we've gone back above it now, and that appears to be support for today. So the pattern didn't work. We got stopped. Sorry about that. I can only go with these patterns, put in orders and have a stop loss in. Again, Euro yen absolutely rocketed. The euro shot higher with talk of a potential 0.5% interest rate hike from one of the ECB doves. That seemed to be enough to send the euro significantly higher. So caught me out completely. Fair enough. That does happen. Euro, again, obviously pushed higher on those comments from the ECB member. And we're now hitting some resistance around the 105.50 area. Would I try a short position there? Well, you know, there is resistance there, but I'm really rather confused at yesterday's price action in a couple of markets. So just make you aware, 105.50 is a resistance level. Whether it holds or not, well, it certainly is holding at the moment. We'll see, and we will review that again tomorrow. Cable shot higher, which was kind of as expected. Hit my target. What else can I comment on today? That's about it. I mean, we'll have a quick look at Bitcoin. As you know, I've been a bearer of Bitcoin and all the cryptos for such a significant period of time, and they do keep going down. We've had a bounce. We're having a consolidation. This to me is probably a bear flag, and the market will head lower eventually. Okay, hope that's helpful. Any questions, fire them over to me. We'll have a chat again tomorrow morning.